We're back again on Lutherans Alive with Beth Caywood, our Southwestern Pennsylvania Synod Resource Center Director, or should we say Directress. Beth, thanks again for being here with us today.
Thank you.
In the last segment, we were talking about the variety of kinds of materials, different forms and formats that things may be available to congregations. One of the other places we wanted to think about is the people resources, people that are available to share their experience or to interpret a particular material or ministry. You're one of those people, aren't you?
Yes, if someone is meeting with their Christian Ed committee, for instance, looking for a particular curriculum, they maybe send someone up to the Synod Resource Center to take a look at what we have. Well, he or she may see so many different things, they're not quite sure where to begin. And while I can walk through some of those things with the person present, I certainly would be available, or people from our Christian Ed team at the Synod, to actually come to the congregations, maybe meet with their Christian Ed folks, for instance, and we could talk through some of the resources that would be best suited for their particular needs. We have a lot of different sized congregations in our Synod, so something that might work for a large congregation might not work for a small congregation. Or maybe they've got a large Sunday school, but it's predominantly a certain age group, and they're looking to tailor something specifically for their needs. So we have all the resources we need in our Synod, and so it's a matter of making those connections.
At this point, would that also be true in areas like stewardship or evangelism, that there are folks that could provide a presentation?
Yes.
Answer a question in a situation where an entire committee and a congregation could hear the answer,
right,
and not just one person.
Exactly. It's just a matter of making the connection with me so that we can find out what your needs are and make sure that the right people are helping you.
Yeah. And you were also saying, in between segments here, that if it's a little bit overwhelming for one person to come to the Resource Center and know what to look for or what to ask for, if the entire committee decides, 4, 5, 6 people want to come and look at things together and research what one person might not think to ask,
right,
another person might, that's certainly acceptable too.
Absolutely. And as we're starting out now, it's just a part-time situation, like I said, Monday through Thursday. However, that's why we want to be available for evenings or a Saturday if people were working and can't make it up to the Synod office at that time. When we're actually there, they can make arrangements for it to be there another time. A lot of folks in our congregation serve on different Synod committees and come up for different meetings and such, and certainly would want to take advantage and save them a special trip, and they could do one-stop shopping that day. Certainly
there's more than one reason to be in the Synod office, and a lot of things to be accomplished while you're there. Also, in terms of gathering information and getting resources available for people, I know at the last Synod Assembly you were recruiting ideas and resources, and mailings have gone out to congregations. You've been aggressive about trying to accumulate as much knowledge as you can, haven't you? Absolutely, and we'll continue to do that. That will never stop, because there are always new ideas and new things to share with each other. And so whatever form that takes, be it a special mailing or a phone call, we'd like to gather that information. And I still have a list to click through. I've read through every single one of those suggestions and made note of those folks who need to be contacted. So. Are those forms still being used that people can indicate what they have available to contribute, or what would be the appropriate way for folks at this point to do that? At this point in time, I suggest either calling the Synod. The Resource Center is available at the same phone number that you would call the Synod offices. And we'll put those numbers on the screen. Good. And again, if you want to just get a little more information on the Resource Center itself, you can access that through the Synod website. Again, once our catalog is online, there'll be a link from the website that they can just click on and view the catalog in its entirety. Email, fax, again, send
the information any which way you want.
There's
but
a
we'll
wide array of choices nowadays, isn't there?
You really can find a multitude of ways to contact someone, but we've, I think, covered all the bases, and certainly would appreciate and heartily encourage folks to be in touch.
Sure. I guess the one that we haven't specifically talked about is if someone did decide they wanted to drive to the Synod. If you haven't been to this area, it is in the North Hills, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's correct. Again, I mentioned the office itself sits below the Synod offices, which you can see from the road, but we could again have directions online for
Sure.
that.
We'll just say briefly at the corner of the Yellow Belt and Perry Highway.
That's right.
In the North Hills, not far from North Park.
Mm-hmm.
But someone can Google or MapQuest or anything you want really to
Easily
find as well.
accessible with parking and handicap ramp in, and so it's very accessible to anyone.
Beth, for the long term, looking ahead at the brightest and best future for our resource center, do you have some things to share, some visions of where we might be going?
Well, I'd like to fill the space as quickly as possible and be coming and asking for more. Again, we're only limited by people's generosity. This is not a budgeted item this year. We went out on a step with a leap of faith, and so far God is more than providing everything that we need. So I would encourage people again, whatever gifts that they resources that they have to share, we would appreciate. I think really it's just a matter of growing in what we can offer folks. We're focusing now on, as I stated, newly released items, and then building our little library of permanent collection, but it's only as limited by people being involved.
Mm-hmm. I guess as we close the program for today, if we could sum it up in one word, it might be the Resource Center is about sharing.
Absolutely.
In both
Making
directions.
connections, linking with other congregations and people.
So we'll ask everyone, as you think about the Resource Center, hold that thought. Think about what you can share and what the Resource Center can do for you. Thanks so much, Beth, for taking the time to come in. We wish the Resource Center nothing but a lot of success, and that it might be the center of a lot of beginnings in ministry around our Synod. Thanks so much.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us today on Lutherans Alive. We hope you've enjoyed this opportunity to hear about an exciting new beginning and an opportunity for sharing much that the church has to offer here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Until next time, this is Lutherans Alive. Good day, and God bless you.